Balaji, we're going to start with you. You talked about a lot of different things. Great catch there on the OT-IT dynamic. Give us an example of a program that you'd like to highlight where this cloud capability is really unlocking those solutions for you.
Yeah, great question. Obviously, there are several programs that we can talk about, but if there is one that I need to highlight, just wanted to give you a little bit of a context. I know that my colleagues here, Jeff and George, talked about Cloud Smart. I think that's where we are emphasizing. We're not just jumping into something just for jumping in and trying to figure out. And as you mentioned, and as you know, our biggest thing is going to be data-driven decision-making for the 45,000 folks out on the field. So we're trying to do a cloud that is very mission-centric. In order to do that, we have gone out of this thing about, hey, reduce the data center footprint and all those things. But we are now focusing on more cloud stability analysis, migration of a complex cloud environment. How do we make sure that they are ready for a mission, high value asset? So examples are like, we actually have internally developed some of these Red Hat OpenShift type of an environment where we are testing those things out in the Kubernetes and, how does some mission critical system operate? Take those value learned before we migrate. So we just don't go into velocity, variety, and volume. We are actually testing it inside through our own internal mechanism where we can test those microservices and containerizations, and how do we make sure we apply uniform container security policies, the zero trust. Those are the areas that we are nailing down before we migrate it. The other area I would say, in a very similar context, is bringing in some of that innovation to us. The sooner we bring in, the better it is. It's like common authentication techniques. So we have invested a good bit of time and money in the COE to come up with some common authentication technique. What I mean by that is, so when you bring in somebody like a vendor into testing some of their tool sets for either OT or an IT, we used to feel that we had spending a lot of time on that PERSEC, on their onboarding and other things. How do we accelerate it? That's what our thought process has been. The last area I would say in similar vein is, how do we make sure we're getting best value of the SaaS we have implemented? The big question that comes back is citizen coding. So we are enabling that capability along with the zero trust, implementation. All in all, to say that our framework on the decision, the 6 R's, whether it is, rehost, replatform, and all the way to replace and retain and retire, all these things are being analyzed through this type of a very complex understanding of what the hybrid cloud needs to do for a smart implementation.